What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm bringing you more lore on the Warhammer 40k universe and 30k. This time, we will be doing the Wargear and Armory of the Battle Automata. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this horribly awesome weaponry. But before we get into their actual armories, let us dive into what actually makes an automata. Imperial robots are nearly identical to dreadnoughts in parts and construction. It is known for a disabled robot to be cannibalized to repair dreadnoughts, and vice versa. Contemptor pattern dreadnoughts in particular are built with some of the same parts used in Imperial robots. The only true difference being that the robot's cortex is an artificial brain constructed from synthetic proteins and enzymes. This brain is imprinted with firmware routines, allowing it to follow simple commands, such as open the door. Prior to battle, these firmware routines will be overlaid and replaced with combat wetware, thin bioplastic cards small enough to fit into a pocket. These new programs will then dictate the actions that the robot will take in the coming battle, such as when firing its weaponry. Robots without a cortex or programming are nearly useless unless they are enslaved to a master robot, thus receiving commands via their communication links. Robots can also be inhibited by their programs, which they literally follow to an inhuman degree. While a human might be able to cope with the unexpected, a robot can be easily befuddled by a rapidly changing situation. Besides their standard communication sensors and suspender systems, robots are also notable for carrying self-destruct charges, designed to prevent the robot from causing any harm in its damaged state. Should the robot's programming fail in some way and prevent its own self-termination, the monitoring tech priest, known as a Cybernetica datasmith, can remotely detonate the charges as well. Other upgrades include a protective power field with synchronizer units, allowing the robot to fire through the barrier, and bombat racks for carrying grenades. Robots of roughly human size can benefit from organic camouflage with a clone skin of human flesh, allowing them to pass for human, and they are particularly useful for missions such as assassinations. And now, onto the weaponry. So let's begin with the lightning gun. Lightning guns are Great Crusade-era weapons used by various Adeptus Mechanicus troops, most notably the Hallux. This aptly named weapon takes the form of a baroquely designed carbine connected to a micro-reactor or power core. It fires an ionizing last beam along with a powerful phased discharge of electromagnetic particles. The ensuing effect makes the weapon able to overload mechanical targets in addition to its effectiveness against organic enemies. The Power Blade. Power blades are small dagger-like power weapons used by Imperial forces. They are easily concealable and often used on infiltration mission by assassins and stealth operatives. Power blades rely on the strength of the built-in power field to maintain the integrity of the thin blade upon a strike. The Rotor Cannon. Rotor cannons were weapons used by the Imperial Army and Space Marine legions during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. These weapons were multi-barreled stubbers, using electric motors to maintain an extremely high rate of fire from their spinning barrel. Their medium-caliber slugs lacked the power of bolter shells, but nonetheless the sheer volume of them proved effective against unarmed hordes of foes and eventually fleshy Xenos. The more famous Space Marine assault cannon was developed from the rotor cannon. The Voltarax Ark Blaster is a type of arc weapon mounted on Voltarax class robots. It is a versatile weapon capable of burning out the conjugators and engines of enemy vehicles. The Havoc Missile Launcher. Havoc missile launchers are the precursors of both the Cyclone missile launcher and the Havoc missile rack supported by Baneblade class Chaos Titans. Due to their size, they are not man-portable and restricted to use solely on vehicles. The Phosphor Blaster is a type of phosphor weapon used by the Adeptus Mechanicus. Through the technology to produce these weapons has been lost to the Imperium, surviving weapons are still utilized by the Skitarii. They are used to mark out high-priority targets on the battlefield, and if struck by the burning spheres fired by these weapons, the victim will find himself under fire from subsequent light-guided volleys. The Incendiing Combustor is a type of flame weapon used by the Castellan robots. The Incendiing Combustor hurls out great gouts of burning, thrice-blessed promethium, laced with Magos-blessed undulants and ignited by a flame lit from the perpetual forge. Each holy flamethrower can turn a techno-heretic into a foul tallow in a matter of seconds. The Hallux Plasma Mortar is an artillery system used by the Thanatar-class siege automata of the Legio Cybernetica. The mortar fires high-density charges of burning plasma, timed to detonate right over their targets. These airbursts create rolling waves of incendiary energy, which engulf the surrounding area as well. The Solex pattern heavy las cannon is a formidable laser weapon capable of piercing most vehicle armor and killing powerful and heavily armored troops. However, its slow recharge and fire rate make it a poor anti-personnel weapon. The Graviton Ram. The Graviton Ram is a type of weapon used by the AdMech Thanatar-class robots, a creation whose origins and design far predates the Imperium. This Graviton weapon may have once been simply a device used for mining and excavation. Now it has been turned into an implement of devastation capable of pulverizing rock, metal, and flesh in cascading waves of gravitational force. The Graviton Hammer. Graviton hammers are a type of graviton weapon built into the frame of the Domitar-class robots, used by the Mechanicum during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. These powerful close combat weapons amplify the robot's blows with waves of gravitational force, which could pulverize battle tanks and even space marine dreadnoughts. The Olympia Bolt Cannon. This bolt cannon is a bolt weapon of Perturabo's own design, used by his Iron Circle. Designed to be easily fabricated and supplied by the armories of the Iron Warriors, it fell between the Heavy Bolter and Mauler bolt cannon in power, but with a higher rate of fire than either. The Graviton Maul. The Graviton Maul is a graviton weapon used by Perturabo for his Iron Circle. It is a variant on the Mechanicum's Graviton Hammer, and these weapons were capable of crushing armored targets and particularly destructive when employed against fortifications. The Carceri Battle Shield. The Carceri Battle Shield is an auto-reactive armored shield augmented by a power field carried by Perturabo's Iron Circle. In addition to their individual defensive benefits, their effect was amplified when two or more were used in close proximity, and they could be used as an improvised close combat weapon. The Plasma Blaster is an Imperial plasma weapon dating back to the Great Crusade. All but unknown in the battlefields of the 41st millennium, these weapons were more reliable than modern-day plasma guns, and they were far better understood at the dawn of the Imperium. The Ark Scourge. The Ark Scourge is a type of arc weapon used by the AdMech during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. This powerful lash-like weapon was equipped with multiple disruption fields, and it could be used to strike multiple foes at once. It also delivered a pulse that would incinerate and overload systems on enemy vehicles. Now these machines also had weapons such as bolters, power weapons, and such, but those will be covered when we go into the war gear of the Space Marines. And that is all the weaponry I have for these guys specifically. If you guys want more armory and war gear for other armies, races, etc., please let me know what you guys want to cover. We do have a playlist on this, so I'd recommend you guys check that out before you suggest a race. One of the more notable ones that we've done would be the Tau, the Harlequins. I believe we did Necrons as well. Just check it out, guys. There's a bunch of awesome stuff on there. Also, let me know, what did you guys think about these robots? Did you find it awesome that their parts are interchangeable with dreadnoughts? It's like, I don't know, it's like, why not, right? Anyway, guys, don't forget to check us out on our Facebook page. On Facebook, we post each and every day, mostly about 8th edition stuff. I want to get your guys' reactions. Are you guys enjoying the new changes in 8th edition, or is it too much for you? Also, we do have a Twitter page and an Instagram page where we post there every now and then, mostly pictures and some awesome news and whatnot. And our Patreon page. There we've got some creepypastas as well as For the Greater Walls that we answer each and every one because our patrons are that awesome. So anyway guys, that's all the lore I have for you guys today. Check me out tomorrow, and as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.